Ladies and gentlemen, I am AKA, you already know, Deal to the TUN. My name's Akayode Ojuolakpe Oladotun, and I'm an OAP. I'm a super hype man, MC extraordinaire, and you guys know you're locked down on Connect360, and I am your personality of the week. Dance for me was my first love. I love to dance, and radio was something I picked up after I figured out that dance was not paying the bills. I had a passion, to move, to bust a move. I always want to be the attraction, and within a crowd, in a video, amongst my friends. Dance can always give you that at every point in time. I wanted their attention, so dance was good. I go to school, then I walk to school carrying a bag with radio appliances in it. Systems and what you call the CD players that you can play CDs in it. So because I started a dance group back then in school called Extreme. I attended Lagos State University. I majored in mass communication in school, and that was my first love. And I go to school, bust a move in my clothes, even after sometimes you feel you're looking all good, but at the end of the day, you figure out you're running on the floor because people didn't get it. Like, what were you trying to achieve? But I just love dance. But I just figured out that dance was not really respected. Nobody really held you to a high esteem at that time. If you're a dancer, it wasn't paying the bills. And for that reason, I stuck to my education and stayed in school. I got my degree, but way before I got that, I had a lecturer then who used to take me in my class, and he just thought I was witty. Rest in peace. He used to be the I think chairman of APCON at that time, Mr. Nigezie, but he passed on now. So he just thought about it like, you're a great guy, you're witty, you're very, quirky, and you could do this, and I'm like, you could do radio. I'm like, really? He called me up and told me, gave me 3 options, and he gave me 3 options, and at that time, Cool FM that I'm presently with was my first love when it comes to radio station. I listened to a lot of radio shows. I listened to the likes of Steve the Sleek Category. I listened to the likes of Topper Brown. I was a big fan of all these guys. May their soul rest in peace. Fantastic guys on TV, radio. Raymond Ayuba as well. And I used to listen to all these guys. So for some reason, I figured out that, it would be nice enough for me to be able to plug into that realm. And as it will have it, I got a call. He made that recommendation for me. I got a call from Cool FM to start as an intern, and that's where I started my journey into radio and my world into being a super hot man and MC. It was a long, straight walk of freedom. You know what that means. If you go back to the story of Mandela, you know what that means. It was a long walk. And I know that if I have to start now, I'm never going to finish. It was a journey that, sometimes it takes all your sweat. Sometimes it takes all your pride away. Sometimes you lose your integrity as you're going on. Sometimes you're never picked as anybody who would, get the right deal. You were just never considered. But for some reason, I just kept pushing and pushing and pushing. And voila, we're here now.
What would I do? Hey, boys! Hey, boys! Hey, boys! Hey, boys! Hey, boys! Hey, boys! Hey, boys!
Well, it's funny, Deal to the T1 is the brand. I hope you guys will call me Dotun Cool FM. That cracks me up anyways. But for some reason, because, sometimes they want to associate you with a brand, which is good. But, I'm Deal to the TUN. And Oladotun is a family person, a family guy, a great dad, a good husband. I have a wife and, kids as well. So it's good to understand that for whatever you feel it is, when you get back home, you're a different person. We go out with you for the entertainment. You do it for the grab, like everybody says these days. But my own is, my job is my job. I'm an old soul. I'm very principled, and I still, regardless of whatever I wear, look like, I still understand routines, understand procedures, I understand structures, and I understand time as well. So there's time for everything. I'm just the kind of guy that I try as much as possible to be able to see things differently. I still want to be the same person I used to be before I, became a superstar, as you guys might see it. But I always try as much as possible. My work is different from family. Family is different from, my family is different from everything. Different from me working, different from me as an OAP, different from me as, just a friend, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot more different. So I always try to understand that. And I understand rules and regulations, structures, and procedures. When I'm on radio and being a hype man, I think about not going back to where I came from. People don't understand. These days, everybody talk about passion. It's good. It's one of the things you must have. But hey, passion without making money, I don't know about you. For me, it doesn't work for me. So my drive is, I want to be able to take care of everybody around me and not go back to where I came from. So that's a drive for me. Now, passion is what got me to the point that I can now think and have a transition, build on what I already had, and have a transition into these things that we're talking about now. So hype, when I'm hyping and on the radio is, I want kids to feel like whatever I'm doing right now, it can take you out of anywhere. So as much as you don't know, I've been where you are. People don't understand that, everybody talks about my accent. Well, good for you. For me, I use that for something great. I touch lives, I inspire people. I'm not out there stealing. I've used it as a tool. I've worked on myself, and if not travel with the travel anywhere. So it's all about that. For me, it's good to understand that I've tried as much as possible to see that there is an edge. You have an edge. You have, you can be different. You can dare to be different. So for me, that's what I think about. I'm never going back to where I came from. And I'm going for it and making sure I hit the notes when it is required. What I hate about my job is the fact that I cannot be everybody else. People don't think you're here. People just sometimes don't even think you're a human being. They look at you and look at you like as a robot. For example, I like to speak my mind. If you say something wrong to me, I should be able to defend myself. But there's this idea of you're a public figure. I hate that. Yes, it's great. Yes, I'm supposed to be the one to be smashed and bashed every time. Yes, I'm the one who's supposed to be quiet at all times. Yes, I'm the one who's supposed to take the jabs. Yeah, and yes, maybe you are the one who think I'm supposed to be a robot. But for some reason, I'm a human being. That's what I hate about my job. Everybody thinks you're a robot. Like, I don't have feelings, you're not supposed to have a heart. We cry, we laugh. We're the same as you guys. So, what I love about my job is, the conviction power that you have. The fact that you can speak to people and they live your life, understand you. And the fact that you can inspire people as you're working as well. And, sometimes you can pull some plugs that nobody ever can. I think I love that about my job. And now, the better part of it is the fact that I can do something that's worth it. And people can actually see it and take, advantage of it, or take that as a tool to get to the next level. Now, a lot of kids out there want to be OAPs. It never used to be like that. A lot of kids out there want to be hype men now. It never used to be like that. You never can tell your parents and tell them that you want to be an MC. It's not a job description to them. It does not even smell good. But now, it smells good, because you can tell them I want to be an MC, a hype man, and they won't understand it. They will understand it. So that's what I love about my job. I think my own most memorable time would be the time I had an in-depth interview with Casey and Skibby. That one actually went viral. Like, it was crazy because, you know, the truth came out. And that's why sometimes it made me show a part of me, which requires you as a journalist or OAP, because we're all in that circle, you have to find the truth. Sometimes the best way to find the truth is getting a lot closer to it, speaking to it directly. So that was one. The day Kobabs walked into and said, I listened to you, and could, you know, he realized that, you know what, I'm the same guy, you know, he listens to. And the fact that he could speak about me in that light, that makes sense to me. A lot of times I had to Chris Air, my time with Mims, I had some color international acts that came on the show. You know, I had great times, memorable times. Ling Whitfield, Arnold, yeah, the lady who plays Everybody Hates Chris. That's it. Chris's mom in Everybody Hates Chris. You know, fantastic interview, and they were actually really intrigued by my presence and, you know, the kind of questions I asked them. You know, it was very alike to what they hear and what they see. You know, on a very proper, because, you know, sometimes they don't have the same, they feel like, you know, it's Africa, but they can feel like this is the kind of guy I'm going to see on a radio station in ATL. So it's good. I like that. And so for me, it was a time that there's a lot of them. I have, you know, I had a big fan call at Abednego, who's blind, and followed me from my night show all the way to the weekend show, and now the daytime radio, you know, and, you know, having those kind of guys call you every time, it brings, you know, I will never forget that. He cannot even see. The first time I met this guy, I couldn't even speak because I was shocked. He was so full of happiness and energy, and he's blind, and he's a big fan. So all those things, if I put that all together, and, you know, doing this for over 11 years, I think I'm guaranteed to say that, you know, I've had a lot of memories, a lot of it, loads of it, loads. Radio has been a tool that has been, it's not much of a choice. It's like you don't have a choice these days. You have a car, there's a radio inside it. You know, it's more like there's a canapé, there's a way they can infuse a radio in it. You have mobile phones that there's radio in it. If you have your laptop, you have apps you can go on. So for some reason you can imagine. And now you are in a country where there is always traffic. So what really entertains you till you get home? Well, you might listen to your CDs, you get tired of it. You listen to the songs you downloaded on your phones, you get tired of it. So the power of radio is the fact that I can speak to as many people at the same time, and they agree with me. It's just the same way I pick your song and I tell you this is the hardest song right now. You have no choice. And now we've grown ourselves to a certain level, glory be to God, that we speak about stuff and people listen. Like, I tell you that this is the hardest song right now, you go and check it out. Oh, I tell you, okay, now the hardest act right now is Pipi Nazi. You check him out. Oh, have you heard Mr. Easy's brand new song? You check him out. You know, oh, so that's the power of radio. The fact that I can sell something to you. Now, it's beyond that. The fact that I have the power to educate you on things you don't know much about, inform you on things you never have gotten your grasp of, or you don't have your hands on it. You don't have your hands on that information, but I can tell you, and it's even more powerful when, you know, you say it, and it's more believable when it comes from a medium that you respect. So radio has a lot of power. It influences a lot of things, and it's very important to the entertainment industry. Lately, I've been into what we do is art, and I'm beginning to feel like, you know, because we're streamlined to, creativity has been streamlined to certain things. You know, if it's not the movies that we know, it's music. And that's how we see it. But don't forget that there are things that make up a whole movie. Who is the script writer? who are the producers. We have people who can make paintings that will blow your mind. Artists, they're not really recognized. Now, that aside, there are photographers out there who want to take the best pic. They take the best pic, use their lens to make magic, but people don't really speak about them. And a lot of things like that. Sculptors, you know, plumbers. I feel like there's so much magic in what you can do with your hand. Whatever is God given for you is so more magic in it. So I felt like, you know what? I want to do just something small because we have a lot of time. Instagram is where you find all Tom, Dick, and Mariah. Everybody's on it. But the jack of all is a jack of all trade. You're looking for shoes, you find it there. You're looking for habalis, you find it there. You're looking for food, you find there. It's always on Instagram, you know. It's crazy. Now, there's a contact for everyone. Now, I realize that there's a lot of people who show their art and nobody really pays attention to it. So I'm fine, have a platform. Yeah, okay, fine. A popular name, all in regards, how you see it. My fact is, I just wanted to cater for those things people don't really pay attention to. And that's why I started it. It just depends. You know, I could get a few friends to donate money, but I want to start with my money. You know, if you want to be part of it, fine. You know, it's not a charity organization, but it's good for someone to have something to show into the world. At the end of the day, you know, you get something in return. So it's a fact. That's why I started it. It's Cater by Deal to the T1 on Instagram. It's, you know how to spell it. That's CATRBYDO2DTUN. So I started that. I'm doing one presently for moms. You can take the best picture of, and because it actually just inspired me, the International Women's Day. You can underestimate the power of a woman. So I just wanted a picture with, you know, a mom and daughters that shows color, shows, you know, joy, the art in it, the creativity in the shot. And I think it's good. It's for just young photographers who they've not even made a dime for the whole month or 2 months. You can take it, do the challenge and take the money. That's it. I did one for artists the last time and they did a fantastic job. So I'm just somebody lately, I started investing a little money in arts, and I have a friend who, you know, took me through that and let me see the reason why art is big and way bigger than that. I go for exhibitions now, you know, see art galleries and see how things are worked out. So. If I go into that, that's a long story. But I feel the best is, and this goes for one-hit wonders. One song does not make you a hit. One song does not make you who you are. It's good. People are not working to be evergreen these days. You know, people are not moving their craft from being just a one-hit wonder to, you know, things that are evergreen. I want to be able to play your songs in the next 10 years, you know. Big shout out to Liza Mr. Incredible. You could tell they've worked their craft, and now the transition from just doing music has moved into business. Liza Banky W as well. So a couple of guys like that. Well, Olamide is taking that step now. So good. They already understand that for some reason that this will not last forever. So a lot of them just leave for now. A lot of artists leave for now. They just leave for the moment. There is no transition from now into tomorrow. So that's how you see everybody want to get one hit. They think that they just think that it's shit. Sorry I had to say that on TV, but that's it. But the fact is, you know, I want to see you after 10 years. As a matter of fact, I've been on the radio for like 5-10 years, and I've not seen some of them. They're gone already. Gone with the wind. Bye. So you got to leave for now. You don't have to leave for now. You have to leave for tomorrow. And I think that's one big problem they all have. You know, they get in their head, they make a little money. Guess what? Everybody becomes ants. But it's fine. We're still going to be here. So you have to join us in the struggle. See here, right? That's it. And advice is always be yourself. Don't tell, you know, if people get lost in quotes, you know, yeah, jump the horse so you can rise high, please. You know, the fact is, Just, just be you. You gotta just leave with your identity. Just be you, right? Don't ever compromise standards. For me, if you're gonna have codes for the year, for the month, stick to what you say. It's not about you writing it. It's by you doing it. A lot of guys out there who want to do the same thing we're doing don't have the nerve or the strength of the heart. They don't have the threshold. You need to be patient. Sometimes you cannot get a radio shot till after 5 years, and you've been there grinding. Well, too bad. Sometimes you might just never get it. You must have the threshold. You must be focused, and this is exactly what I want. Don't be fooled by quotes that you drop on your Twitter page in the morning or your Instagram. You gotta follow it and be focused. So you know what, for everybody out there, don't be a one-hit wonder. Make sure you stay and last a lot longer. Plug into it and make sure your transition is key.
Aquila, Oyadap.